I started Root and Soil mainly because I felt like there wasn't really a place to be like your most authentic self as a woman. I think there's a lot of groups that encourage feminism and things like that, but there was never really a group where you could just go and have a space to be yourself and be heard and say as much as you want or as little as you want.
I joined Root and Soil because I had heard about it off of social media, just from a friend of a friend that I followed. I didn't really know what it was, to be honest, but their Instagram had like their mission on one of the posts and in the bio, and it just kind of seemed like a really nice place for women to like gather, and I liked that it was women-centered, and I liked that it had kind of an opportunity to talk about subjects that we don't really talk about in like mainstream society a whole lot or dive into.
In order to be a good feminist, you have to be able to love yourself as a woman in order to love other women and encourage them to love themselves. So we're really different in that we encourage vulnerable conversation, we encourage vulnerability with each other and with ourselves, which isn't something that is very popular in the media, like women being vulnerable but also being strong.
The biggest thing I've learned is that your perception of people is not always correct, and I feel like that's kind of a like obvious thing, but especially hearing the stories and hearing people's perspectives on a lot of different things, where I would have a stereotype or a certain kind of ideal that I would push on them because of the way they look. When I hear their stories, it's completely different, and I think that's one of my favorite things that like has kind of happened. It's opened me up to a lot more people on this campus and a lot more people that I didn't think that I would necessarily click with or that I would necessarily be friends with, but it's kind of opened me up to that idea of being friends with a lot more different kinds of people.